Hello, and welcome to A Piece of Denise. This is not Denise.
That's very true. Peeps, I am back this week with my episode about all things hockey with my favorite hockey partner.
Ayo.
Dani.
Ayo. It's me. What's up?
I think my favorite thing about telling people that I enjoy hockey is the blank stare that I get, because they always ask me, what got you into hockey?
I was going to say it's the blank stare when you tell them that you like hockey and they're like clearly like, but you're black.
Well, that goes without saying. So that's what this episode is supposed to be about. What got us into hockey? What got us into hockey as black people, black women, and all that entails, implies. So who wants to start?
No, I'm going to start.
Okay.
Because boredom straight up got me into hockey. Like, literally. I think it was my, like, sophomore year of college. And I was, like, at my friend's dorm room, like, bored as shit out of my mind. Flipping to the channels. Hockey game was on. It was the Penguins versus, I don't even remember. But they won the game. And I was like, oh, that's dope.
And then that's all she needed.
And that's all I needed. That's all she wrote. And now I'm in this cult with these dumb flightless birds who got my blood pressure up.
Well, we'll talk more about how the hockey season kind of dictates our mood for the rest of the year, for a good portion of the year, anyway.
82 games.
82 games. So
plus the playoffs. If they make it.
Which 2 years ago was a long time for me, and I'll circle back to that.
We don't talk about that time. That was a very stressful time in our friendship. We won't bring it up.
So, for me, it's really not that interesting. Every time I tell people the story, they're like, oh, okay, I should have known that. But anybody who's my age should know, like, I grew up during the sports movie era during the 90s. So if you watched The Sandlot, you watched The Little Giants, you watched
The Mighty Ducks.
And The Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks 2.
I mean, listen.
D3, The Mighty Ducks.
I never missed when those movies were on TV. And it was part of the reason why I got the Disney Plus package, so I could watch them again.
Yeah, you have to.
So,
if you had a crush on Emilio Estevez like I did, yes.
I was more of a Dean Portman kind of girl. I was into the Bash Brothers.
That's fair.
So, all love for my things defensemen stem from the Bash Brothers.
Yeah.
So, there you have it. And my love of Goldberg being the goalie and Julie the cat. So, I always say that to people. It's twofold. It's kind of taboo if you say that to people who have grown up watching hockey because they hate everything Mighty Ducks. So,
how do you, first of all, to those people who are out there listening, if you hate the Mighty Ducks, I need you to sit down and rethink your life. Okay? Classic staple of the sports movie era. Okay?
And one of the things that I always laugh at is the reason that they give is always like, well, that's not real hockey. That's not, people don't really understand hockey.
What I have to say to that? Your mom's not real hockey.
It's true. It's true.
How about that?
But to that, I always say, like, who watches a movie and thinks, like, this is actually how things work? Like, I've watched 24. This is absolutely how the CIA works, honestly.
I mean, I definitely watched Lord of the Rings, and I think that's how mountain trekking should work.
So, if you get all your ideas from movies, then,
If you don't come across a Balrog on your trek across a mountain, are you really hiking?
True. And these are questions that need answers.
Yeah, Q&As, y'all.
So, it was a very long time when I was growing up, I would, after watching the Mighty Ducks, I would be like, man, I really want a hockey jersey. And the response that I usually got was, black people don't watch and or play hockey. So, we're not going to get you a hockey jersey.
Which was so rude.
So, I never did get one. And there's something about being in your 30s with your own money.
Adult money. Y'all, I have like 4 jerseys in my closet right now.
That is my go-to thing, okay?
Like,
I have a Wolfpack jersey from the AHL.
And I'm going to start talking about how, first of all, how mass fashion and like sports merchandising actually hates women. Because
that's a story for another time.
That's a story for another podcast. Why can't I get a jersey to fit my long fucking arms?
They don't believe
fits
women.
My curvature.
Listen,
anyway,
don't believe
fanatics,
women.
I'm talking to you.
They don't believe women have long arms.
Okay.
Just so you know. But yes, I went out. I think now I own I did at last check, I have 15.
I was going to say, if I have 4, you probably have double that.
I probably have 15.
Yeah.
And I think that I have enough Mika Zibanejad for now. So
that's not a thing.
Don't aid into my addiction, okay?
I'm pretty sure I have. No, so I have 5, because I have 2 Crosby jerseys, 2 Malkin jerseys, and a Tanev jersey, but it's the Seattle Tanev jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we made the mistake of going to see them play. It was a big deal.
It was great.
We did a lot of spending.
It's fine.
But, you got older and you didn't say much because most people in my neighborhood didn't watch hockey. You either watch football or basketball, which
baseball.
And baseball.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with those sports. I'm a sports girly, okay? Yeah. But it was very hard finding people, especially in the South.
Oh yeah.
that watched hockey. Yeah. So, that was interesting. And then you and I met in high school, and we knew each other for a while before it came out that both of us were into hockey.
Yeah, it was after I graduated from college, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after. And I graduated, oh my God, so many years ago.
And that's all we need to say. Moving on.
That's all we need to say about that. Anyway.
But
yeah, because I think it was right after the Thrashers left.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So it really was there's no hockey in the South.
Yeah, so there's
nothing.
There was nothing for us to talk about, really. Right. And of course, now that we don't live in Atlanta, they're like, we might want to talk about bringing an NHL team back. Really?
Yeah, that's really rude.
Really?
Just want you guys to know.
So, but I think that it kind of came out while you and I were sitting down having a conversation like this.
Yeah.
Where we were like, oh, I didn't know you like hockey. You like hockey too? What?
And as most conversations that we have about these kind of things happen, I'm pretty sure it's at my parents' house.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think
turned the game on.
Yeah, you turned the game on. And I was like, and for me, it wasn't so much that she turned the game on. It was just that's the thing that I need to get back into, because when you turn on the TV, you have to know what you're doing or what you're turning into in order to get hockey on TV.
Yeah.
So it's not just something that you go to. Not like the NFL.
Be looking for it.
Not like the NFL on Sunday, but
it's on 5 channels.
So when she turned it on, I was like, she knows where to go. So this is something that she does.
Yes.
And then, of course, she picked the absolute wrong team.
First of all, I picked the absolute right team, because it was right after that. It was the year after we won the Stanley Cup back to back.
I'll never hear the end of this.
You will not.
The Rangers need to do something,
as soon as the New York Rangers won back-to-back Stanley Cup, then we can have another conversation.
Between you and my sister who likes Tampa Bay, all I hear is about back-to-back cups.
As soon as the New York Rangers get a mascot, we can have a conversation.
And listen, the way that I had to convince you that they did not have a mascot.
It's the Statue of Liberty. I don't care what they say. New York Rangers, if you disagree, at me on Twitter.
I keep trying to explain this to her, but no. They don't have, none of the New York teams, I don't think, have, except for the Liberty.
No, the Islanders. They have the
the fishermen. Yeah, but they're not worth talking about. Moving on.
I feel like the Sabres have one. Is it not a sword? Does that count?
No, the Sabres are a buffalo.
Is it a buffalo?
What? No, it's not no. Oh my goodness. And this is why we don't talk to her about mascots.
It's fine.
So there you have it.
It's fine.
But we were having a discussion, and you said to me in passing, there's this whole, group of women that get together, black women that get together, and they go around, they go to hockey games and things like that. And I was like, no freaking way!
Yes, freaking way. Shout out Black Girl Hockey Club, Renee, who is the GOAT. I think I found them on Tumblr at first, and then moved over to Twitter, and then was just really great being a part of that. It was a handful of people at first, and now it's this big, multinational.
It's a massive, massive thing.
Massive movement. So shout out.
I think we at this point been to 2 events, right? 3.
Yeah. Nashville.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and New York.
But the reason I said 2 originally is because Pittsburgh and New York was like an all-encompassing trip.
Not on purpose. That was an accident, but we made it work.
Well, yeah. So she first says to me in, I believe, 2019. Now, keep in mind, I've loved hockey for all of this time and had never been to a hockey game, couldn't even get people to buy me a hockey jersey. And I had lived up north for a long period of time. I'm from New York. The Rangers and the Yankees and the Knicks have been, in the fabric of everything that was going on when living in New York. And so still never went to a game. And then I come down south. I'm down here 20 years. The team moves away and still didn't go to a game. So there's that. It is not until my friend of several years says, hey, they've got this group. We should go hang out with all of these other women who are like us, who like hockey and don't have anybody to talk to about it. And they're going to be in Nashville. You ever feel like going to a game? Here's the thing about me. If you want me to travel with you, all you need is ask.
Yeah, it was that easy.
There's no downside. I'm like, let's do it.
Super easy.
Let's do it. So we went to see the Preds versus, I don't forget who they played.
Hold on. I'm trying to find the photos.
Plenty of photos.
So many photos.
But
I don't know.
I had forgotten who they played, but it was just like the whole atmosphere of Renee talking about like black people do play hockey, black people do watch hockey,
because that
black
was
people.
when we did the movie premiere.
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
Soul on Ice premiere.
Soul on Ice premiere.
Yeah, I remember that. It was so good, and I remember thinking like, I want to show all of these people that had told me in the past that this is not what black people do. And it was a big deal because it was during Black History Month.
Yep.
And then they talked about how black people have been playing hockey since the 1800s. And they had their own league and all of these things. These are things that had never been told to me as a kid.
Don't know. Yeah.
And so I was like, in your face. So anytime somebody tells me that now, I throw that at them.
As you should, honestly.
Black people have been playing hockey since like 1890 to 1942.
Yeah.
In Nova Scotia. So take that. Thank you.
Thanks, Canada.
But it was also that we got to like go around the community and, bring young kids in and play with all of the children and all of those things. And then, we got to, that was the first time I had been ice skating.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, that was Pittsburgh.
That was Pittsburgh.
I forgot about that.
That was so much fun.
No, Nashville was when I had to learn to ice skate.
Yeah, Nashville was when you had to learn to ice skate, and that was really fun.
She takes to anything really well. For those of you that don't know, you think she's not athletic, but the person who's not athletic is probably me. And so we won't even get into when we learned how to snowboard, and that she took off with that. But they tied up our ice skates, and they were like, "Okay, go forth, be great." And I was like, "What?"
Meanwhile, I'm just like, "Wee!"
I was so scared of breaking my neck on the Predator ice.
Like on the actual ice.
On the actual ice.
So on the ice.
So shout out to the Preds for that, for allowing us to do that.
Yeah.
And we got to skate around, and I was out there for as much as my body would let me at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun.
And we came back to the game. Was that later that day or the next day? I can't remember.
It was the same day.
Yeah. So there was a lot of events, a lot of hanging out with people.
Yeah.
And I have friends that I still talk to.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah. Because that was also when we got to meet the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
To this day, I still have a picture. And people ask me about it when I post it on Twitter.
Yeah.
They always talk about Roman Yossi, and I'm like, here's me and Roman Yossi.
That man is fine as hell.
Okay. I was like, here's me and Roman.
That man fine as hell. I seen
That's
somebody
it. No notes.
with a Roman Yossi jersey on the other day, and I was like, memories.
And again, my love of defensemen shines through, but he's good looking, so there's that.
Very good looking. Shout out to his wife.
And so we took pictures. That was when we met PK Subban.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he came out and he took a picture with everybody looking like the Grim Reaper and that crazy ass hat.
I'm telling you.
And so
I can appreciate the fashion.
I can appreciate it.
That.
But I was like, man, look at this hat. So it was fantastic. They won the game. No, they didn't win the game. Didn't they go into overtime?
I don't remember. But no, so it was 2 days because we also did the playoffs for the PWHL. The All-Star game.
Yeah, the All-Star game. Man,
Yeah.
it was a good trip.
Oh my God, we got to meet Blake Bolden.
Yeah, it was such a good trip.
She's a gem. And she signed my sneaker. Thank you, girl. I still have it. I don't wear them.
I like watching all of the women participate in all of the All-Star events.
Right. Because they be smoking the men. Like, the women be smoking the men. Did you see that one All-Star game? Well, who came out? Was it Amanda Kessel?
Yes.
She smoked them all.
Listen.
She smoked them motherfuckers, bruh. Sorry. Language on the podcast. My bad, y'all. Bleep that out.
No, definitely not going to. But she's right. I mean, it was so much fun, and it was so weird to see like the arena that the women were in.
Yeah.
Versus the men.
The men versus Bridgestone.
And then realizing that the women have some real talent. And as in most things are underpaid.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that. But we had a great time, and I did not have enough money for all the things I wanted to buy.
That was 2019. That sounds really close to...
No, it was.
It had to not be that. Was it the year before? Because we did...
I don't think so. We're gonna check our Facebook.
We did Pittsburgh in 2020. That was right before the world shut down.
That's true, but I
feel like it was before that.
No, yeah, that's true. The Pittsburgh and New York were in 2020.
Yeah, I feel like maybe 2018.
She's going to say 2018 because it makes her feel better. I don't think so.
It makes me feel a lot better. Thank you.
I don't think that's what it was. Okay. And then the Pittsburgh trip came about because she was going to go to a Pittsburgh game.
Yes. Originally, I was going to go by myself.
Yeah.
And I was like,
how dare?
I'm going to fly. And then I was like, no. And then I was like, I'm going to drive. My plan was I'm going to drive to Pittsburgh.
From where we are in the South.
In the South. And my husband was like,
absolutely not. That sounds like not a good idea.
Not a good idea because the trip to Pittsburgh from where we are is a lot of bumfuck nowhere mountainy roads. And he was like, if your car breaks down, I don't want you somewhere by yourself as a black woman in the South, in the mountains. God knows what happens. God bless my husband. He was amazing. So I was like, okay, I really want to go. I got to figure out what to do. So as I was looking at all these things, I happened to just recheck the Flecker Hockey Club calendar. And I was like, there's a New York trip right after the Pittsburgh trip.
Yes.
Let me call my friend.
I'm going to point out she should have did that to begin with.
I should have done that to begin with.
In the way that's great about her husband is that he's not into sports. And so when
he was not coming.
When she asked him to participate in things, he's always like, why don't you get Denise?
Yeah. He was like, why don't you
ask her
if Denise wants to go? And I was like,
the answer is always yes.
Let's do it. So that's how we ended up with that. So what was supposed to be a 2 to 3 day trip turned into
a week,
a full week.
Yeah, well, we were in Pittsburgh, we were in New York City, and taking in both games with all of the people from the Black Girl Hockey Club.
Yeah,
and it was a good time. But I think, like you said, Pittsburgh was where we went around to the schools. And was introducing hockey to the kids,
which was so much fun. That was so great. And
seeing all of the kids kind of interact and be like, oh
my God, it was 2019.
I told you.
Shut up.
I know when it was.
February.
Yeah. So it was a year from when we went to Pittsburgh.
That's crazy.
Right. I know what I'm talking about. Thank you. So now that I've been proven right, which doesn't happen often, we were there, and you were working with the children, and they were rotating.
Yeah.
And the kids were throwing the puck back and forth.
Wild.
It was a wild time.
I loved it. Every minute of it. It was so much fun.
And I have to say, as much as I am a Rangers fan, being a part of, watching the Penguins organization kind of market and reach out to the community was a big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
I still don't like them.
Big ups, Pittsburgh Penguins. Y'all doing the damn thing. Continue to do the thing.
And then, of course, we had to figure out how to get from Pittsburgh to New York City.
Yeah, because no one drives into New York City.
And also, for being Southerners, we had no idea what to do.
No
and
idea.
I said, once you get over the Mason-Dixon line, everybody takes the train.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it was 9.5 hours from Pittsburgh to New York City.
Because we took the commuter train and not, like, the straight-through train.
Is there an express train?
I thought there was an express train.
I don't think there is. I think she's making that up.
We took this commuter train, and y'all, I was at my wit's end.
You should see the wheels are coming off the bus.
Get me off this train. I'm going to throw somebody out the window.
And then we ended up in Penn Station. We ended up, it always helps when your friend works at the hotel.
Yes.
Big ups to Dani for having connections that you need.
Oh, yes.
So we ended up staying at the hotel and kind of moving around New York City. That was the last time there was a Modell's. And for New Yorkers, y'all know what that means. Because I know this episode is about hockey, but the Yankees were in the World Series and there were no Modell's to go to. That was the last time that was when I got my Henrik Lundqvist jersey.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't find them anymore.
And then he had the nerve to retire.
Yeah. Luckily,
can't find that jersey nowhere.
Can't find the jersey anywhere. And keep in mind that I was thinking about not going on this trip, and something told me that I need to go on this trip because this might be the last time I see Henrik Lundqvist. And it was.
Yeah.
That man said, "Oh yeah, I have to have open heart surgery. I'm going to be coming back." Nope, I'm joking. I will not be coming back. And so that was the last time that I got to see Lundqvist in its entirety. But then we got Igor Shesterkin, and so it doesn't matter.
Whose name I still, in my mind, pronounce Shesterkin. Sorry.
I can't tell you if either one of us are saying that correctly.
If you're listening to this,
Igor, let us know.
Let us know.
Please, write us. Tell us how to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
But I remember, and remember, that was the last thing that we did together as a you and I pair trip going out of town before
COVID shut the world down.
Before all hell broke loose.
Right.
So I got to savor that for a long time.
Yeah, no, that was really great.
And so
I still think about that because also during that trip I got to ride the Zamboni.
Yeah, she won a trip on the Zamboni.
I won a trip on the and I was literally complaining during a thing that I never win raffles. Lo and behold, I get picked to get on the Zamboni during practice. We got to go down on ice level and watch the practice. Oh my God.
But that was the warm up.
That was the warm up.
Yeah, that was the warm up. And I forgot about that. That was listen. If you ever think the Penguins...
I was standing right next to Gino's wife, Anna, who is drop-dead gorgeous. Ma'am,
if you ever think that the Penguins are jerks, you should be down there during warm-up time.
Because you know what they was doing? Shooting pucks at us.
And they were supposed to be warming up, and they saw us standing there with our nose pressed to the glass, like real newbies. Nobody does this.
We're just so amazed,
watching them
making prints on the glass.
And they were they took the pucks and kept throwing them at the glass, and they're like,
right,
right, they come. There's nothing coming. There's glass there. It's fine. And they kept laughing at us. So
but that's okay because they noticed me, and I was like,
if you know,
I feel like I'm in a hockey romance novel. One of you men, please pick me up, take me away. Sorry to my husband. He will understand.
You have a hall pass? I
do. Okay. I have several. Okay. I have as many as are necessary for the team.
Okay. So, there you have it. But I always find that to be fun because that's like a highlight of the trip because on top of that, didn't you see who came down the hallway when they were showing us the back room? Oh my God,
we were doing the tour.
They were showing us a tour of the facilities.
Chris Letang walks by with his fine ass. Oh my God, I can't even stand it. And then Sidney Crosby walks by. Bro. Y'all talking about
this man is giving us the actual history.
Right.
Of the locker rooms and all of these things.
And
then she started screaming.
And I'm about to pass out on the floor.
And then she started screaming and disrupted the whole thing.
Me there.
And he was like, well, you can't be back here. You can't be talking to them. And
That's
it's
too
like,
late.
now, mind you.
I'm already back here.
Mind you, she had already caused the scene.
It's already too late. Okay, you didn't want me to go back there. You should have told me that before. Okay, I'm just walking around, looking at all the stuff on the walls, and here they come. What you want me to do? Ignore them? Absolutely not.
So
absolutely not.
There you have it. But and then in New York, I got to take a picture with Anson Carter.
Anson Carter,
great dude.
Yeah, no, he's so great.
And
that was they played Dallas.
Yes, they played Dallas.
We didn't win Dallas that game.
We didn't win, so there was that. But I had a great time meeting people. I had gone to the bathroom at some point at MSG, and they basically, like, there were women that were like, who is this group that y'all are with, and who do I need to speak to, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, talk to Renee.
Yeah.
Get in here, join us. Be there or be square.
And then we made friends with a lady who was sitting in the row, like, behind us.
Yeah.
Because I think she was by herself, too.
Yeah.
Like, not even part of the club. I think she was just behind us.
And I think that she's in one of our pictures, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She is.
Yeah, she's in one of our pictures. So that is always fun for me to go and do with you as a person who also likes hockey, I don't have to explain it to.
Yeah, you don't have to drag me around, like, under duress.
And then my sister started watching it. She lives in Tampa. Blech.
Blech.
And so I keep having to hear about titles back to back, but whatever. But she loves her some Andrei Vasilevsky. Okay, we have a thing for goalies.
Yeah, I was going to say, who doesn't love a goalie?
Yeah, we have a thing for goalies, so there's that. So she's talking about, like, when we're going to get together and see a game, and we'll have to figure that out. But we're going again in February. February is our time to go.
February is the time for hockey.
Is a time for the Rangers and the Penguins to play.
We'll be up there. We'll be in New York.
In New York, doing our thing. Spending a bunch of money that we don't have on hockey things.
Who's gonna check me, boo?
I remember.
Not even my husband, okay?
I remember being at PPG Paints, and they set us loose in the store.
Loose.
And I was just watching her throw things in the cart, and I was like, wow. Yeah. And she turns to me and she says, you're not saying anything. I know, because tomorrow when we get to New York, I want you not to say anything. Yeah. No, so
a really funny story about that is that, like, I was buying a bunch of stuff, and she was like, what did you say? Isn't your husband going to notice?
Your husband's going to say something.
And I was like,
your husband is going to say something about this.
No, it's totally fine. Like, he doesn't check our account, like, ever. It'll be, like, way down the list of, like, purchases. I'm not worried about it. No big deal. I check out.
Side note, people, it was a big deal.
I check out with, like, $300 worth of stuff. Okay?
That's how they get you.
Walk out of the building. We hadn't even made it out of the arena. And I get a phone call from my husband. What did you just spend $300 on? Sir, you're not supposed to be looking. Why are you in here?
Asking me about my hyperfixation
Why
obsession.
Are you in our bank account right now? There's nothing important that you need to see in there, okay?
Don't look in there.
Log out and pretend you didn't see it.
Close that tab.
Yeah, get out of there.
So there you have it. But we had a great time. Lots of great food. Pittsburgh is a great city for lots of great food. So New York is a great city for lots of great food.
I had my first New York slice of pizza
that we had to eat on the walk. It was great.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah, she didn't know how to fold it.
I did not know how to fold it. I am so sorry to you New Yorkers. But to be fair, I did not ever live in New York City. I was born in New York, and I moved when I was like 3.
She was born in upstate, so there's
upstate. Yeah.
I was born in Queens, so I won't be taking questions at this time.
Yeah. I was like, how do I get all this grease off? It was fantastic pizza. There was a lot to it.
And then, we went into lockdown, and then I think it was 2 years ago at this point that it was, we get through the end of the season, and it's like, the Penguins are going to face the Rangers in the first round of the playoffs. And I was like, why do they do this to us?
Yeah.
So that wasn't something I wanted to do until the second round.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't really work for me because she has 2 teams in the Metro Division that she really enjoys.
I do.
I don't have more than one team that I root for.
But I really if it happens, if my two teams have been playing each other, I don't ever say anything because the amount of like shitty people on the internet that
Of
are
course.
like, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. You're not allowed. Whatever.
So
Like,
tell them who
whatever.
your other team is.
Anyway, my other team is the Carolina Hurricanes. Okay, love those guys. Bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
Indeed.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. But yeah. Yeah.
And so 2 years ago, this has been the case for a little bit now. Neither one of us really enjoy the Capitals.
No.
But
No, we don't.
But it was a hard time figuring out how this friendship was going to go those 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because only one of us can make it, and one of us is going to be very upset.
Yeah. And I think we just didn't talk about it.
No, it just wasn't a thing
We just didn't talk about it.
We just decided, however this is going to go, well, this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
So, my first mistake was watching Game 1 2 years ago. One thing I've learned from you is that when you're watching the playoffs, you absolutely don't. You just are like, I'm going to go and check the scores the next day.
Periodically.
And I'm not gonna put myself through this.
I'm not gonna watch it because what you're not gonna do is get my blood pressure up when I have to go to work the next day.
I fear that she might be right, and I don't ever agree with her on many things.
Yeah.
But I watched that first game, and it was very our two teams have a very similar kind of style of play.
Yeah,
and it's very hard to try to figure out how this is going. Either it goes really well for one team or the other. One team is really clicking, one team really isn't.
Yeah.
And it could be 5-0. But when they're both playing well, it's a very stressful time.
You're like, excuse me.
What is this? What is this? We don't ever watch a game together, so you know.
We do not. I think the last time we watched a game together, it was neither of our teams playing.
Right. That's the only thing we could do.
Yeah, it was neither of our teams playing.
Only thing we could do, because I can't imagine how that's going to be when we go in February. It's going to be the Rangers and the Pens playing.
Yeah, it's going to be.
And that's not something we've done live ever.
No.
So
it's going to be fun.
It'll be an interesting time. We'll check back in with y'all after that and see if our friendship has made it.
After years, I feel like we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. But that first game I watched, Game 1, we went into overtime, 3 periods of overtime.
17
this was the first time
overtimes.
This was the first time that it occurred to me that playoff hockey doesn't have a shootout. I was like, oh, they're going to a shootout. No, there is no shootout. For those of you that don't know, there is no shootout. And we just kept going. And I was like, I have work in the morning. And at least I'm, I had a friend that I met at the Black Girl Hockey Club. Shout out to Cynthia. She was at the game and didn't get home till 2 o'clock.
She was at the game?
She didn't get home till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no, thank you. That's way past my bedtime.
And so I just was I can't imagine getting on the train and having to go home after that.
No.
But anyway.
I would just sleep in the arena.
Just and I think,
put me on the floor.
I think a year ago, Carolina had a game like that.
And that guy
where that guy fell asleep and they tried to make fun of him. I was like, he got there at 7 o'clock. It is now the next day.
It is the next day.
So why are we making fun of him?
Okay.
But whatever. But so we didn't win Game 1. And at one point the Penguins had gone up 3-1 in the series. It was a very stressful time for me. You know when your Apple Watch is like, hey, what are you doing?
I never get my
your adrenaline is spiked, your heart rate is spiked. And we don't detect that you're doing an exercise. So what are you doing? We think you might be having a heart attack.
I am having a heart attack.
I am having a heart attack.
Much. Do you want to know why? Because the Pens are 3 up in the series and then they lost. Okay? Assholes. What the hell?
We did come back because let me tell you something about New York, okay? We live for that no quit in New York shit.
You know what? I like the motto.
Okay? And we live up to that by doing absolutely nothing until our back is against the wall. That's how we play, okay? We're that first period, who needs that? We're going to do the second and third periods, and we're going to just battle back and sell more No Quit in New York merch, of which I have a lot.
I was going to say it worked.
It works.
Yeah.
So we battled back, and then we beat Carolina in the second round. And that's what I'm saying. How do you get teams in both rounds?
Luck of the draw.
Boo. So then of course, my sister came in and had something to say because
It's Tampa.
it was Tampa that took us out of the Eastern Conference Finals. And we have something against the Eastern Conference Finals because we can't seem to do anything past. We can't ever seem to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. What is that about? Pay Igor Shesterkin the money that he's asking for. We're going to need him. And I need y'all to do something because I can't take it anymore. I can't.
Yeah. And I know we're only like 10 games into the season. But Pittsburgh, if you could please just get your shit together. Okay. Please. Thank you.
This is a memorandum. We're putting it on the desk of everybody. I need
get your shit together.
I need for y'all to.
Y'all seen the episode of Rick and Morty? Get your shit together. Put it in a backpack, take it to the shit store, and get it together.
And for you New Yorkers out there, like I need more production from people who are not named Artemi Panarin. Like Crides, Mika, I love you guys. I need like top scoring. That's what I need. More defense because let's not leave Shesterkin out there. We need to get this together.
Yeah. Thank you.
As experts as we are in the field, obviously.
Obviously.
Since we know what we're doing. I just told you guys I don't even know how to skate.
With our sports management degrees or whatever.
And if you remember, I don't even know how to skate. What do I know?
I don't know how to stop on ice skates.
If you ever seen the Mighty Ducks, there's a guy on the team that they had to teach how to stop because he was crashing into everything.
I just like slowed down enough or I veer myself into a wall. It's fine.
Yeah, and then the criticism of the movie is that they teach him how to stop by like using empty soda cans. Yeah. Well, that's what we should do with you.
No.
Not at all.
No, thank you.
Well, it'll be a cool montage, and by the end, you will have known, and nobody will understand how you got there because this training mechanism doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So. Okay, cool.
So in closing,
are we done?
I mean, what do we have? Like 10 minutes?
Oh, I don't know.
How do you not know?
I don't, because I can't remember what number you told me.
49. So we got like 12 minutes.
Oh, okay. But no, we can close.
Yeah. But like in closing,
we did do, because we did a game last year.
Did we do a game last year?
Yeah, we went.
Oh, we went to see the Checkers.
We went to see the Checkers.
Yeah. And we saw the the Wolf.
We went to the Canes game when the Pens were here.
Yes. Okay. So we do a lot of hockey.
Yeah,
okay.
we try to do a lot of hockey.
We try to do a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
It is the one thing that we both know that we can do. It's better than just saying, "Hey, let's go and see a play." But who's it? Are you into a play? Are you into musicals? Are you into thrillers? No, but we both know that we're into hockey.
We both know that we like hockey. Yeah.
So I had forgot about that. That was for your birthday last year, right?
My birthday.
And we took the train. It was a horrendous idea. We took the train.
The train was fine. The train that was fine. It was not very long, and we got those business class tickets, and that was amazing.
And if that's how you're going to do it, people, you should do it.
Yeah.
The reason that I take the train a lot is because I hate driving, and I hate driving in new cities. And Dani over here is very against not having a car to get around, and she might be right about that too.
I like to drive. I like to be able to go where I need to go and not have to worry about it.
And then we had to hop in the Uber where the woman was driving all over the place.
Oh, we were gonna die,
and then she couldn't see.
We were gonna die.
Remember, she said she couldn't see.
She was like, "I can't see. We're driving at night."
I was like, "Excuse me," and then I get she's messaging me on the Facebook Messenger, and it pops up on my phone like, "We're gonna die, aren't we?" We'll never make it to the arena. We're going to die.
We're going to die here.
And so, and then I want you guys to settle a debate because she was, Dani was saying like, you should wear one of your hockey jerseys. And I was like, why in the world would I wear a hockey jersey to a team that's not playing? The Pens and the Canes are playing. Why would I wear Mika's jersey or a Kreider's jersey here?
Okay. But then we got there and there was a guy wearing a, Stars jersey. And then
the other guy there in the Maple Leafs jersey.
Wearing the Leafs jersey.
Just knowing that he wears a Leafs jersey tells you what you need to know.
Right, that part right there. I found out that my husband games with a guy who is a Leafs fan, and I was like, defriend him immediately.
Defriend him immediately. Anybody who tells you they're a Caps fan, get out of there.
Get out of there. Molly, you in danger, girl.
Oh my goodness! If you're a fan of Ovechkin, I'm sorry for you.
I'm so sorry for you.
It is sad. You know he's going to break that record this year. He's on it now.
I know.
I'm telling you, I'm not an Ovechkin hater. I'm just not a Caps lover. So there's that.
Right, that part right there. I remember I went to DC once and I walked in front of Verizon Arena and I was like, "Fuck you." To the entire arena.
She's just antagonistic. Just ignore her.
I am.
So, but we did go and we got there in one piece.
Then that Uber ride home was a whole different. Oh my god! This is why I need a car. I don't deal with other people driving.
She's right. And so, but this is what we do for the love of hockey, by the way.
Right.
And we got there. Who won that game? Was there a downside for you for that?
Yeah, it's that the Canes won.
Okay, so
I mean, so not really a downside, but kind of a downside.
I never know when people have more than one team how they feel about that.
Because I was wearing my Penguins jersey.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I remember.
So,
and then the only other thing I want to talk about, and we have a few minutes left. Okay, I was on the Twitter as you do, on the sports Twitter as you do,
as one does.
And,
sorry, X, formerly known as Twitter.
I'll never call it that.
Okay, I don't like it.
But
because fuck Elon Musk.
We, you know how you get your news about, sporting events coming up, and it was announced that the Rangers were going to play in the Stadium Series, and I knew then,
yep,
that's what I was going to do. It was much like when
that was this year.
Yeah, that was so last year, right around my birthday last year, they announced it, and
I can't believe it was just this year.
Or they announced it early in the year before, and so I had to get tickets. So it was like a bloodbath on Ticketmaster trying to get those tickets. I had to become a part of the Fan First program in order to get the code, in order to be there for pre-sale, in order to get tickets.
In order to get in the line. For the pre-sale.
Yeah. And I managed to get 2 tickets for me and my sister. Shout out to my sister for wanting to go to an outdoor game.
In New York.
In
February.
It was in New Jersey, but same thing. And the water coming off, the air coming off the water was like a knife, okay? We're wearing several layers of clothes because we're Southern girlies, actually. And it was one of the best games I have ever been to.
Yeah.
And again, that no quit in New York. Because they have to go to overtime, or else what is it?
Well, if you don't go to overtime, are you really even playing hockey?
And I think that's one of the things that we talk about when we say the Penguins play the Rangers, because there's no such thing as a regulation win.
Yeah, I feel like
we'll be here forever. Thank you.
We will probably need coffee midway through that game.
We'll be here forever
just to make sure that we can stay awake.
My favorite is when everybody plays the goalie. But the Stadium Series, I met so many people that I had talked to on Twitter and had a good time, and we took pictures, but it was bitterly cold out there.
Yeah,
and then they kind of delayed the game because it was too much sun in people's eyes. And I was like, listen, NHL, if you're going to delay the game, you need to let people know that. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was just a very dominant, Islanders game. And I remember saying to my sister at one point, okay, well, it's too cold for us. We don't need to stay. And then we went on the power play twice, pulled the goalie twice. And for those of you that don't know, that almost never works.
No.
0.5% of the time does that work. And then we scored 2 goals and tied it up and went into overtime. And then there's no such thing like a controversial goal score. At the end of the game, Panarin gets it in. The goal comes off the pegs. They're trying to decide whether it's a good goal or not a good goal. And I remember the ref, they were, deliberating over it, and then he skates back on. And there were 89,000 people in the stands.
Yeah.
89,000 some number.
Could you hear a pin drop?
You could hear a pin drop. It was dead silent. And there are people that have posted on, it's literally quiet until he says, oh, we've got a good goal. And then you could hear them from miles away. So it was the best time that I've had in recent years have all centered around hockey.
Yeah.
So
yeah, certainly.
And I think that's what makes our friendship stronger.
Yeah, definitely.
So more
It's
hockey in the
definitely
future.
not the fact that we argue over you liking brown mustard.
I mean, some people like pastrami and brown mustard,
Disgusting.
and other people are wrong. So there's that.
You are entitled to your incorrect opinions.
Some people like the Rangers, and again, other people are wrong.
And entitled to their incorrect opinions.
So
Okay.
hopefully we can get a Stanley Cup here in the next
Soon.
years, because I can't take any more, okay? I'm fighting for my life against my sister and Dani, okay?
Very happy when the Rangers get you a Stanley Cup.
I need that.
I know you do.
Thank you. And that's all we have for this week, guys.
Yeah.
So,
We're going to do more of these. These are fun.
you enjoy it, don't you?
I do.
You didn't think it was going to be this simple, did you?
I did not.
You thought it was
This is
more...
my first podcast, not to be my last. Get ready for more of me.
So we'll come up with some more topics for you. But hockey was easy because that's our favorite thing.
Hockey's easy.
Yeah. So that's all we got for you this week.
Bye.
Okay, bye.